Well, it is all over in Bloemfontein, but it's very dangerous to go to Bloemfontein these days. Akuyi olubuyayo. Kukhona iMarumo Gallants, kukhona isiwelele. Luyasha uphuthu eBloemfontein, but unyuphuthu one time abantu. This is my views, my expressions. Bakuthi aqala ukujoyina. Please do subscribe, share channel nabakazi ukuthi we are here. Elami igama uSiboniso Sizo wakwamnikazi sibongela ngami ngedwa. Ngiphethe coach Khila Mphela. Coach Ari.
Yadla plamba. Awu, yazonda impofu.
Hawu, kwazonda impofu manje. Lezi impofu izozonda ngobani?
Hey, ngoba ihambela phezulu kulezi insuku impofu.
Leave because alone, one game, one win. Abanye
percent, usazozwa wena.
Abanye 2 games, 2 losses.
League champions God.
We come to you today with izindaba ezingekho mnandi. Amabhakabhaka Orlando Pirates suffered yet another defeat in the BetwayPremiership at the hands of Marumo Gallants again namhlanje. I'm not sure. I don't know Mphela. I just want you to take me through this game. I saw the starting lineup and I saw Amabhakabhaka, so many people there on Twitter and Facebook. People were not happy about the starting lineup. And you come to the game, you expect to go to coach who has in fans will always be fans, but the coach knows better than the fans. But now when the performance is like this, that proves ama fans maybe they might be correct about the things abakhala ngazo. Wena uyibone kanjani game?
The fans know their team. At the same time, the fans will confuse you because the fans have their own favorites.
Yeah.
If you are a coach, you see things on the pitch, you always reason. Because think about it, you start the strong lineup, you get an injury, you don't win on the weekend, then the people will be saying, no man, why you played you led the strong team to play the unnecessary games because the big fish, because we wanted the big fish. You don't do that.
Yeah. And you suffered the defeat on the first game, so this game is very important.
They always say that. You remember when Coach Rolando was being blamed for playing with Tebogo Mokoena, when he got injured and then he failed to go to semi-final and then he lost to a semi-final and because Mokoena has been injured. Then they've said, no, why you used Mokoena on the games when we already wrapped the league? So fans, you put this one, they will always talk. You put this one, they will always talk. But going to a game of today, Pirates started like a house on fire. Approach came with the 4-2-3-1. So what they were doing was just building the up from the back, and then they were going through the full backs, or then they recycle the ball to Undulu, and then they come back to the base. Then after the base, they go to the wingers. So especially they were using Utiono Hoto for most of the time. Unklapo they couldn't deal with Utiono Hoto because when we are a defend. Whenever you need to see the defender, you need to see the ball. But Unklapo was the other way around. He was looking at the ball and then he was not able to track Utiono Hoto. And then he was always Hoto finding a ball behind him. Maybe 2, 3, 4 times, and then till that goal that came there, and then it was just a cutback towards the box, and then the finish. Then the problem of Marumo Gallants at that particular point in time, it was their reaction. They couldn't react, especially on those when Pirates was doing a massive plays, and also in the midfield. Who is this guy Umbambani? So because he was the one that was playing the anchor, he is too slow there at the anchor, so he was late to recover, and even calling Ama Eitake to come deep, and then therefore Omar Swangai was having the joy there in front of the goal because even Apolis they were just cutting in there and then making a pressure. And then another thing that I have noticed, the only side that was functioning, it was just the left flank for the Pirate, because the right flank was not functioning well. Because I was confused even now. You remember last week I told you, you see this thing I'm telling you at the beginning of the season. Moremi. Come on, somebody.
What? Moremi from Amazulu?
Moremi from Amazulu.
On this game is one of the players that I rate highly.
That's not an Orlando Pirate quality or caliber player.
But
There's nothing. You will, okay, let me tell you this. I will give you 5,000 rand if Moremi will be called again on the national team for any year's time. You see, now it's June. It's August. From this August till August next year, you will never see Moremi in the national team. Whenever you see me in the national team, chop my head. Right, let's continue.
No, I would rather take 5,000 than chop your head.
Yeah, so on the right, there was no combination because there was this Mashilwane guy. Okay, you could see that the talent is there, but there are a lot of aspects that you could see that he doesn't understand in that role, or you still need that team that was there, especially in the midfield and on the right side. You could see that there is no cohesion in the players, especially from the midfield, because you couldn't see no pass from Umoremi towards his fullback Umashilwane, or Umashilwane couldn't even overlap. Nothing. There was nothing, and then the ball was always played in the midfield, and then switch play, and then they cross. And that was Pirate. But after 15 minutes, and then the tempo just dropped a little bit, and the game became just boring. But Pirate was always probing because they created around 4 or 5 opportunities. And then towards the end of the first half, in the crucial moments, and then Marumo Gallants, they started to have few corner kicks. They did mama in swing. The Pirate did have corner kicks, and and also Marumo Gallants, they did one combination where they played the combination confidence 5-6 passes, because Marumo Gallants, they were just pretending as if they want to start the ball from the back, and then they were always going route one. Then their problem is that they didn't have any telepath in the front of goals, because they were playing for 3-4. Yeah, they were playing 3-4-3, so they were too scattered. The distances between their lines, they were too much. That's why Pirate was always having a joy in penetration, because they were just opening the pitch, and then when they overload, and then they isolate. And then so in Marumo Gallants, when they arrived, the only guy that was lively, especially in the first half, it was only Umsendan. So when Umsendan was having the ball, you could see there is something that is happening. Kumaro there, they were just resting on the day. Ostwaler there on the left, they were doing nothing, no attack, no combination, nothing. And then till that 45 minutes where they did the combination, which was good, 4, 5, 6 passes, and then the ball over the top, and then it was a goal. Then the goal, the game went to the halftime. Right, after the halftime, then now we want to see what will be the changes, because now the score is 1-1. Then now we see the coach trying to influence the game by bringing Abo Mahopa, and then by bringing Abo Kwaiba, by bringing Abo Sbelebele. Then on the other side, Abo Clifford, Abo James, and so on. But now the changes. Now Pirate, now they playing Pirate just approach the game with the 4-3, because first half they were playing a 4-2-3-1 and also a 2-3-5, especially in attack. And then now they approach the game with the 4-3-3. And then on the other side, Marumo Gallants, now they were going with the 5-3-2. But the other aspect that changed more for Marumo Gallants was for the first 10-15 minutes of the second half, they just emphasized, the coach emphasized for them to play, because they tried to play more. They were dominant on the ball from the build up, and then that's why the Pirate was getting some opportunities on transition, because he is slow in midfield of Marumo Gallants. So there were many turnovers, and then Pirate was trying to find them opportunities, but they couldn't capitalize, because Radio Pane today, for me, didn't play that well. And then even Abo Kwaiba, for
Where's
me,
Mabasa?
I don't know. Ukwayiba, I was out of position. No. So Umahopa was always out of position. You couldn't see who is the point of reference. Unlike Marumo Gallants, because Marumo Gallants, you could see now there is a point of reference. Whenever they take the ball, he holds up the play and then pass the ball at the player that is running on the right flank. So that was it. Second half, and then the game became boring. Because it was just a midfield battle. The Pirate was no longer checking, and then Marumo Gallants was no longer making those opportunities where they did make defense to go up on their seats. And then till the 90 minutes where that player of I think it was told the one that was substituted, cut in there and then find the cross and then go to Clifford. And then it was just a goal and then just like that. But for me, the man of the match was Washington Arubi, because Washington Arubi made too much saves. Then another thing, but Pirates should have benefited there, because I think our police there, they should be, because it started on the handball. It was handball on the towards the end of the first half. It was handball. Then they also tripped our police in the box. It should have been 2-1 the score.
So
this thing of a VAR, this thing of VAR today, the Pirates suffered.
So Leandro Liangokwako aikhulumisa. It's just a clear penalty. It's either you give a penalty handball because the hand was away from the body, or you give a penalty from the clip by Ntego police.
Yeah, you give a penalty there, but the referee couldn't see because he was just
behind.
Yeah, was
but
just
the lineman.
Maybe the lineman was too far, but they just, let's say Bloemfontein Celtic, maybe they Marumo Gallants, they just benefited, but that should have been a penalty. So that was the game. The game was not too much exciting. Maybe because there was no bullies and stuff, but Umoreko is a good player. Undoli there is a good player.
Where's Makahleni?
Yeah, I'm thinking
they're
saving him for the big game on Saturday.
So he won't play 2 games and then a commercial.
Yeah, I think so. Then now another thing I have noticed is still the beginning of the season. There is no, especially on this team that was put today, there is no question in the team. But we know
they still don't understand each other. But what was the preseason for?
No, but even there, even on the preseason, the squad is too big. Now you know. When I can tell you the lineup, it will be Mpogazi, it will be Spisi, you know that will be Hoto, and then it will be Ushandu, it will be Umbole, it will be Dunduli, no Maswangai, no Mfukeng, no Police, no Raitopan. That's the starting 11. But these other players that were there, 4, 5, 6 players today, they won't be there. So that's why there's no cohesion. Okay.
So 2 games in the league, 2 defeats.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the coach?
Still very early in the season. The coach has not been even consistent with the lineup because of he's thinking about MTN8. For me, I'm always going for my strongest team. I cannot just say no and then disrespect the game, because what's going to happen if you lose the first game at home? You see the fans now, you see the pressure. So now I was going to go with my strong lineup. If somebody get injured, I put him responsible because the Pirates has stepped this season.
Do you think this is the right coach for Orlando Pirates? That is actually my question.
Yes, no. Give the coach a
chance.
No.
No. Just answer the question.
No, give the coach a chance. Aibo is still very.
So he's the right coach for Pirates.
Yes, give the guy the chance. Aibo, how?
Go show and his views. And I'm a fans. I want to know from you guys, Nina, what do you think about the coach? Is this the right coach for Orlando Pirates? Or do you think this coach is going to end this season?
Just a pass. Or Rivera.
I don't know. Champions League is coming. Orlando Pirates is also playing there.
What I know is that if he can lose and not progress to a final or not take Hilokuzan, he'll be so much under pressure.
But first, that's just about it. Orlando Pirates is suffered.
Chiefs is winning on the other side.
Well, how is that the problem? There are 16 teams. Well, how is that?
I know how this Soweto thing works. But if Pirate can lose 2 Chiefs again, I am telling you that coach won't finish the season.
As Varedi is 17, Orlando Pirates can still win against other teams and get defeated by Chiefs and still win the league.
Good luck.
That's just about it, my best. Thank you so much for watching. Please do subscribe, share, channel Dabangas, which we are here. From me, Fanagamniga to Capello, Chambermarco, comment the Tangity. Sangambila, I'm out of here.
Hey, namhlanje mnyama iguqile mnyama.